Range Rover has always been a symbol of prestige. Whether it's pulling up to a five-star hotel or gliding through a muddy countryside lane, few SUVs carry the same mix of elegance, road presence, and all-terrain capability. But for all its strengths, the brand has also earned a reputation for unpredictable reliability. Some model years offer a near-perfect balance of luxury and durability, while others will empty your wallet faster than a champagne bar at a celebrity wedding. If you're considering one of these British beauties, you should know exactly which years to seek out and which to avoid at all costs. Let's start with the troublemakers before we move on to the standouts. The 2014 Range Rover Sport seemed like the ultimate upgrade when it hit the market. It was lighter thanks to an all-aluminum body, quicker, sharper to drive, and far more modern inside. The styling was aggressive and contemporary, and on launch day, it looked like Land Rover had nailed the formula. Unfortunately, being the first year of a new generation meant it also inherited the first batch of growing pains. Owners quickly started reporting electrical glitches, from random warning lights to infotainment systems that froze or rebooted mid-drive. Air suspension problems were all too common, leaving the SUV sitting comically low or leaning to one side overnight. Worst of all, serious safety concerns emerged around cracked front steering knuckles, a defect that could lead to complete steering failure. Between the electrical gremlins, expensive suspension repairs, and the risk of major structural faults, this year turned into one of the most expensive to keep on the road. What should have been a dream SUV ended up being an expensive lesson. The 2012 Range Rover Evoke was meant to attract a younger, style-conscious crowd into the brand. And at first glance, it succeeded. Its coupe-like lines, bold proportions, and compact footprint made it a design hit. Unfortunately, the first year of production brought the kind of headaches that stick with a model's reputation for years. The 9-speed automatic transmission, which should have been a technical highlight, often hesitated, shifted harshly, or refused to engage properly. Turbocharger failures weren't rare, and electrical faults popped up far too frequently, from malfunctioning climate controls to issues with the central locking and dashboard displays. Some owners even reported premature brake wear, which only added to the cost of ownership. For a model aimed at style-savvy urban drivers, spending more time in the service bay than on the road was not part of the plan. Buying a 2012 Evoke today is a gamble, and unless it's been fully overhauled by a meticulous owner, it's a risk that's rarely worth taking. The 2013 Range Rover, marking the debut of the fourth generation, arrived with sleek new styling, a lighter all-aluminum body, and more powerful engines. The L405 should have been a masterpiece. But as with many brand new designs, the first year proved to be a testing ground for early buyers. Electrical system failures were widespread, affecting everything from navigation to heated seats. The air suspension system, while capable of delivering a sublime ride when it worked, often threw up error messages or failed entirely, leaving the vehicle riding harshly or sagging at one corner. There were occasional transmission issues, as well as cooling system faults that could lead to overheating if left unchecked. While later years of this generation smoothed out many of these problems, the 2013 remains a reminder that being first in line for a completely new Range Rover can be a very expensive mistake. Now, let's move from the money pits to the models that will make you truly happy. These are the years that combine the style, comfort, and capability Range Rover is known for, but without as much of the drama. Even better, I'll include what you can expect to pay for a well-kept example today. The 2001 Range Rover, the final year of the second-generation P38A, is a model that has aged with dignity. By the end of this generation's run, Land Rover had ironed out most of the kinks that plagued earlier versions. The 4.6-liter V8 was smooth and torquey, and the overall mechanical design was simpler than what came later, meaning fewer electronics to fail. Yes, fuel economy was terrible, but reliability was far better than the Range Rover stereotype suggests. A well-maintained 2001 can still handle long trips and light off-roading with ease. In today's used market, clean examples typically range between $8,000 and $12,000 depending on mileage and condition, making them a relatively affordable entry into the world of Range Rover ownership. The 2008 Range Rover from the third-generation L322 lineup is another strong choice. By this point in the model's life, many of the early 2000s reliability issues had been addressed, and build quality had improved noticeably. The interior was a lesson in understated luxury, with soft leather, real wood, and an airy feel that made even the longest drives comfortable. The naturally aspirated 4.4-liter V8 struck a perfect balance between performance and durability, avoiding some of the complexities of the supercharged variant. Owners often report these models lasting well beyond 150,000 miles with proper care. Expect to pay between $14,000 and $20,000 for a well-cared-for 2008 model, which is reasonable considering the level of luxury and capability it delivers. The 2018 Range Rover Vogue stands as proof that modern Range Rovers can be both luxurious and reasonably dependable when you choose the right year. By this time, the fourth generation had matured, and the earlier gremlins had largely been worked out. The cabin was a masterclass in comfort and design, offering a quiet, refined space with upgraded infotainment and more intuitive controls. Engine choices were solid, with fewer widespread complaints than in previous years, and the ride quality was everything you'd expect from the brand. In the used market today, a low-mileage 2018 Vogue generally falls between $55,000 and $65,000, depending on specification and history, making it a relatively modern choice that still avoids many of the reliability pitfalls of the early 2020s. Finally, the 2020 Range Rover Verlar offers a fresh, contemporary take on the brand's luxury formula. Designed to sit between the Evoke and the Sport, the Verlar leans into sleek styling and a more road-focused personality. By 2020, the model had matured past its teething troubles, with improved electronics and refined drivetrain options. The six-cylinder engines in particular strike a good balance between performance and efficiency, and the cabin's twin-screen layout is modern without feeling overly fussy. While long-term data is still building, early owner feedback suggests this is one of the more dependable recent Range Rovers. Current used prices for the 2020 Verlar typically range from $45,000 to $55,000, depending on trim and mileage, offering buyers a stylish and modern SUV without some of the high-maintenance baggage that can come with older models. The truth about Range Rovers is that owning one is as much about the experience as it is about the vehicle itself. The right year will deliver a rare mix of luxury, capability, and road presence that few SUVs can match. The wrong year, however, can turn that dream into a nightmare of repair bills and downtime. If you're looking for a model that offers the best chance of a smooth ownership experience, the 2001, 2008, 2018, and 2020 stand out as the safest bets. Each brings a slightly different flavor of the Range Rover character, from the old-school charm of the P38A to the contemporary elegance of the Verlar. On the other hand, years like the 2014 Sport, 2012 Evoke, and 2013 Range Rover show just how costly it can be to get it wrong. Choose carefully, do your research, and you can enjoy the Range Rover lifestyle without as much of the drama that has made the brand as infamous as it is famous. If you found the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us, and here is another video you'd like.